Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about high notes and low notes and the flexibility between the two. So we had this before when we talked about low notes, about blowing down into the embouchure hole. Now for your high notes you need to blow up. So the feeling is, and almost like that. So for anyone who has a fringe, if you blow your fringe away, that's the kind of action you want to be feeling. Of course, eventually it's nothing like that size of movement, but that's the action. So if you just practice that, practice getting your chin to move along with your lips, and practice being able to make the airstream move up and down. So again, using our friendly Numo Pro visual aid. So I'm now going to just demonstrate the exercise of blowing from low to high and back down. If you do this, make sure this bit here is level. They say put something on there like a coin, but it's too annoying because it keeps falling off. So I'm just going to make sure it's horizontal and then just do all the movement from the lips. So you should never be doing this just by pure force of blowing. Make sure you're doing it by changing the angle. So you end up with quite a flexible embouchure. Your chin might be leading the movement or it might be following along. That's kind of individual, I think. I used to do it more with my chin, but I feel my chin doesn't have the sensitivity of fine movement that my lips do. So I guide the movement from my lips and my chin sort of follows along. So for high notes, we also need to change the shape of the inside of your mouth much more to a sort of E feeling than an OR feeling. And the hole here is pretty tiny. But interestingly, when you get to the very top end of your flute, so around sort of G, B, A and C, you start needing to open up the hole again. So it's not totally linear, the close and open thing. There just needs to be plenty of air coming through the flute at all times. For the high notes you need lots of fast air, so your diaphragm support needs to be really firm and sort of pushing outwards quite strongly. Anything that's too weak, you will possibly end up going that sort of raspberry sound that your lips can make, and that's always to do with there's not enough air in between the two lips to keep them apart. So if you just blow more, that's the simplest answer, but then it might go a bit sharp. So again, just support more with your diaphragm and get that angle. So the more you can get the angle out like that for your high notes, the more reliable they'll be, together with adjustments as we were talking about. As you become more used to doing all these movements, they can be less and less, so that when you're more advanced, you can hardly see someone moving their lips, but rest assured they are. So an advanced player might be doing so I was moving over 2 octaves there, and the movement here was really quite small. But I think at first you need to practice these techniques that I've been talking about to just get that movement and feeling of change of direction, and then you can minimise it later.